Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're back for all of the talking with the things. We are here for Carnation with the Christmas countdown. Basically, it's the review of every collection Carnation have done up to last year, because we've already had this year, so we're not rejigging that one, but we have got all of the previous ones. So if you watched us at 9 o'clock, we did the 2020 ones, then we're doing 2021 now. Oh, Miss Taz, my brain.
You needed help with that then.
I did. So today we have got the Christmas wreath maker, we've got Glow of Christmas and Around the Tree, all awesome sets, and we're going to show you as much as we can. Christmas wreath maker, I don't think I'm allowed to say this, but I will say if you're going to bag one thing, this is the thing to get today. I blooming love the Christmas wreath maker, always been one of my firm favourites. I mean, there's so many firm favourites, but this is an incredible kit. 210731. Chris, bless you, Miss Taz. Christmas wreath maker set, it's called, and you've got all of the elements with all of those gorgeous florals. Now, I've only got one board for this, but I'm going to show you some finished samples as we go through so you can see it, and I'm going to very quickly show you it in action. Today, if you're just joining us now, today is not demo heavy. We're reviewing them, but I'm trying to get as much in as I can. It's amazing to have your company. Hey, Linda McLeod. Hi, Linda Wilson. Hey, Yvette, how are you doing? Just got in from work. Get your feet up and have a brew, Yvette. Good morning, Charlotte Palmer again. Hello, lovely. Right, so the Christmas wreath maker, what is it? Well, it's a stroke of genius. You'll get it today for $44.99. I'm going to go through the housekeeping part because once you see it, you'll be in love with it. $44.99 if you've got your discount code. Somebody asked in the last one, can I share the code? I don't know it, and we don't share it on the TV either. It's from the newsletter, and you get that by going to the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk, and sign up for the newsletter. They'll send you one every month with a discount code for 10% off pretty much the whole of the website. Pretty much. There are a couple of bits. Hey, Linda Poland again. Good morning, Claire Stone. Are you okay? Good morning, Suzanne Page. Very hot caravan whilst watching away. Well done for joining. So, the wreath maker. This is a serious piece of kit, and it is so incredibly versatile. There's so much that you can do with this and use it in so many just incredible ways. It's beautiful. And it isn't really just for Christmas, because remember with Carnation, we've got your midi floral arrangements, you've got your mini floral arrangements, so you can use those too, so it can go year round. What it does give us is a very distinctive background. So I'll show you the board that I do have, then I'll show you some of the colorways, and we're going to look at some finished samples. So when I show you this, you're going to say, well, that's not everything, but there's so many accessories to that, and I'm going to show you it in a second, but I don't have the board for that right now. But when we look at it, can you see all these wee cut lines that come through? You've got this gorgeous card base, which you can use or you can choose not to. You've got all of these elements and this gorgeous bow. The board doesn't do it justice. What we are missing is the colorway, first of all, which is extraordinary, just beautiful. And then we have got your elements that go with it. Now, I'm going to do something that is slightly messy looking, but I'll explain why in a moment. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that so gorgeous? And we're going to just very quickly work with this in a very fast way, because we've got to get on to the other collections. But when I take this and I put it on here, this is not all you're getting. And I do apologize to Carnation. This is a messy way of doing things. But let me just bring in this. This is what you're getting. So it's not just the wreath maker. You get all the elements. How does it work? Take your wreath maker, there's your card base, take your pokey, and there's a starting point and an end point, but I'm not going to sit and try and work that out without my glasses. See how my pokey goes straight through those little lines, and it goes through all of them. And what that means is, and I'm just quickly going through, I'm not doing anything specific here, but I can start pulling through my florals, and I can build. Let me find some color point here. Just keep using your pokey, it makes things easier. You can make it as full as you want, or you can make it quite naked because you've got that floral behind, you've got the background scene, and we start building and building and building, and it's so quick and it's so easy, and man alive, is it effective. Now, I'm not going to sit and poke all of these florals through because I wouldn't have time to demo the whole thing anyway, but you've now seen how it works. Okay, so we build it round, you've got your beautiful bow line which sits sort of at the bottom, and we create. What does that mean in terms of cards? How does it come together? Well, we can use it without the florals. We can just use the shape of it to make these gorgeous hanging little baubles. Really, really pretty, right? Something super stunning. But then we start to use it in its intended way. And I just want to show you some stuff because this just, man alive, dudes. This card is 2 years old. Can I just give a wee shout out here to Carnation's Tiny Lights? This card's 2 years old. You won't be able to see the difference, I don't think, too well because we've got the studio lights, but can you see that? Straight away that glows up. Miss Taz is turning lights out for me very quickly so that you can see it a little clearer. Look at that. That beautiful, beautiful design. Look at the chunk on that. Man, it's pretty, right? This is all one kit. You can see on the side of the screen there, you can see all of the elements that you're getting, and you can cut to your heart's content. But just take a moment to breathe in this most incredible engineered die and what you can achieve. That's incredibly pretty. Really beautiful. Or we can take it to the smaller elements and use it as a hanging element for our trees, for part of our Christmas decorations. So much, right? Look at how we play. Look at the different playways. This is not a one-trick pony by any stretch. And yes, we're showing you Christmas elements here, but this is a year-round thing. Because you know the florals we get from Carnation. We know that there are many, many to choose from. And they're so beautiful. Really pretty, pretty. Look at that. And every one of these is so entirely different from the next. The great thing about this is, no matter what, your cards are absolutely unique. Because you can't make two of these the same. You can't. Because of all the different slots, because of all the different florals, because of the uses with the candles, all of the different elements. It's one of those pieces that is your forever, forever friend. Miss Taz has just passed me some more samples. Beautiful. This display of using two of them and having it in that gorgeous, gorgeous way where you've got your elements sitting, the gorgeous ribbon coming down, that hanging bauble, creating space on your, because we're using different heights on this, and that's a really important element that we're bringing in. Or I can take in the little mice hugging, which we'll see in a minute. Or we can go to the very, very traditional. That's all using one element. Isn't that incredible? Really strong piece, really strong die set from Carnation. And I wanted to give it a really quick shout out before we went on to the other pieces, the other collections, Glow of Christmas and Around the Tree, which are equally, you know, important. Don't overlook the Christmas wreath maker. It's one of those pieces that once you've got it in your collection, it's a quick card that you can quickly play with and just get to grips with. Good morning, Yvonne Hodge. How you doing? Good morning, Jacqueline Ward. Suzanne, love this set. There's something about the Christmas wreath maker because there's a way of intertwining and playing. It's important. Right, we're going to go to Glow of Christmas. And we're going to have a look at the boards, and then we're going to have a look at some ways of playing. Again, these are all quick things because we're just doing the review today. But Glow of Christmas, I said to Miss Taz before we came to air, this is one of my favourite collections. She will verify that I did indeed say that I love it. I love the Glow of Christmas. Hey, Linda Poland, how you doing, gorgeous? I don't know why. I don't know why this appeals to me in the way it does. I think it's the colorway, but the chunk of it, you know I love chunky cards, but the chunk of this design is so gorgeous. So looking at one of your main card shapes here, this is the Glow of Christmas. It's 210601 on the Carnation Crafts website, which is www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. And you can get 10% discount off this anyway today, taking it down to $121.49. And when you see how much is in here, that's an extraordinary price. Bear in mind that if you bought this combined, it would be £170.94. Carnation are knocking off or whacking £49.45 today on this collection, and it is well worth it. Of course, it will be over the £50 P&P threshold, so you'll get that for free. Look at this. Look at all these colours. This gorgeous, gorgeous playway that we've got. I'm just going to remove the boards underneath because it auto focuses the colour a little strangely. So when you see that, look at it. All the elements you get for it. And when you see that, and then you see that, that's when you start seeing the value of Carnation. Your card base, your match, your layers, the gorgeous element that goes around the artwork that we get for free, but then the pieces that we add up and build to create the most extraordinary decoupage, adding in your little bauble elements. Do they need to be used on this card? No, because what Carnation do very strongly is where you see this decoupage element, that's a full present. So you can use it elsewhere. We can snip in, we can take bits out. You can create half lines on here. So you can cut this here and cut it around the presents and have a gorgeous half line with your white space at the top to fill it in and, you know, extend your joyous cards. From that, we've got this. Look at that. That traditional, that stunning, stunning traditional card making element with that beautiful shape. Ovals are extraordinary cards. They're unusual cards. Not all of us create with ovals. I wish we all did. I love oval cards. Isn't that pretty? Again, look at everything that you're getting here. The Glow of Christmas, value-wise, has got to be one of the best buys because of how much you get in it. One of my favourite pieces for Christmas. I love those mittens. They're beyond sweet. The Scandi type. Remember your Scandi trees coming in. You'll see some Scandi trees at 1 p.m, but we had them in ready for Christmas as well. Everything coming together. There isn't separate collections with Carnation. There is one collection and everything else is an addition. We should start calling them additions instead of collections because that's exactly what they are. Suzanne Page, love this one. Kate Jude says oval shapes are super. They are because it's a different visual. We expect square cards. Ovals are important. Sue Martin, good morning, Carla and Taz. I put tiny lights on that round one for my mum on the wreath maker. They look gorgeous, right? Just to let you know, my basket is stuffed full again. And Sue Martin, we will, of course, find space for these. Nobody needs furniture in their house. We have got this, the celebration table. This is a really unusual die with a very unusual colorway. Now, I am going to say, first of all, this is an amazing piece. It sits behind a window and it looks incredible. But let me take you away from Christmas because there's naught Christmas here. And let me take you back to getting together. That house card shape, that pub, that clubhouse behind the window. There's never a one-trick pony. This is everything that builds. I can't say it enough. They give us elements and those elements create full pieces. And so that's why everything's so important. It's a really significant piece. We look at the big artwork, don't we? Those big colorways, they're the ones that catch our attention. These ones can sometimes slip under the radar and they shouldn't. They're so important. From there, we've been waiting. Yay. Look at them. Look at his little Christmas hat. And they've got teeny tiny presents. What's really beautiful about these two little chaps is where their arms are, you see their hand in their gifts. They could hold a present each. Take the presents away, put them together and they hug. You've got little hugging mice. They're designed to hug each other. It's the cutest thing. It's the cutest thing. They're some of my favourite mice, other than crafty little things, which will always be. But it's cute. This Santa is phenomenal. He is a stunning, stunning traditional Santa. He's telling us all to be quiet. Just gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. Little footprints in the snow. Aren't they sweet? That long line snow coming out. Matt's layers. Again, he can be a Christmas card on his own. You don't need to add to him if you don't want to. He's a beautiful prospect on a card, but you can make a card just purely from him. Look at all the detail on the cut line here. So that we can shape and sculpt. So you can do the sack, you can do his body, you can do his legs, and you can do the fair lines on his jacket to really make him protrusive so that he stands out and becomes your absolute showstopper. The next board that I'm going to show you, if this does not epitomise Carnation and what value we get when we get our dies, I don't know what does. Because every now and again we get a board from Carnation that just knocks our socks off. And this is this one for this collection. Those corner elements, that gorgeous banding to create. We've got your whole little village scape here. Christmas trees, we're given the option. Do you want one that's lit up or do you want one that is plain so you can decorate it? How do you want it? That window where those people will sit behind it, or your Christmas trees will sit behind it, or your mistletoe. Either way, you've got tinsel for your tree, you've got snow, every element to create all of your Christmas wishes for your pieces. This has got an external die on it. Now what that means is we can create an aperture of the window that sits, so you can create, see if any of you caught the last show, there was a mechanism in the first collection that allowed you to build box frames. If you had that and you built this, you do the aperture of the window, you've got your shadow frame, so everything behind it sits behind. And remember in the last collection as well, there was blurred vignettes. You can use those behind that window with those people sitting in front of it. And suddenly we're bringing all of our Carnation collections together because it's what we're meant to do. It's how they work. And man alive, if you wanted sentiments, are these not just in, I know that, Christmas hugs and kisses. That to me is everything. Because it's different. I love it. It's not traditional, but it says so much. It's such a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. Oh, Miss Fiona Abbott. Just finished my Zumba class. Oh, seems like a lot of exercise. Suzanne's got all of her stuff with her at the caravan. It's a lovely way to play, isn't it? Really, really lovely. So your sentiment's obviously huge. Matt's layers, you get your extra filigree elements as well to be able to shape up and play with. And what that means is, why do we have these? They don't attach to this particularly, although you can decoupage obviously, but why do we have them? Why is it important? Well, if you're getting dressed in the morning and you're wearing, this is again a bad analogy, you're wearing red. If you were to put a lipstick on, you would more likely than not try and match your lipstick slightly to your dress because it brings the two together. And that's exactly the same with our cards. When we've got elements like this where you've got that filigree point and it matches the sentiment, what you do is, without actually telling anybody you're doing it, you're creating a whole. You're rounding it off, and that's why it's important, and they make all of the difference. They're just beautiful. Yvonne says these are my favorite sentiments because they're stunning, because there's something about it. So let's have a look at Glow of Christmas, see what we're getting. I've got so much stuff in here. So Miss Tiztaz is giving me a look. By the way, there are other elements as well. You'll need to go to the Carnation Crafts website, but can I just show you this very quickly? This isn't on the board and this isn't part of this collection. It's a separate item, but can I just show you it for impact? Because isn't that so extraordinary? And it's got this little hanging point that you can stick at the top, and you can use that as a hanging dimension. And is that not the most knockout piece? I'm not going to show you much more of that because it's not part of the main collection, but you can find it on Carnation Crafts website, and it's extraordinary. You get the decoupage to build that bow. It's so beautiful. Please do go and explore Christmas on the Carnation Crafts website. We're bringing this to you today, these shows today, so that you have a refresher. Yes, Miss Tiztaz?
I have the item number.
Do you?
I have the item number for what
sausage.
you were just showing.
Whoop.
So it's 210612.
612 for that if you want to go and explore. It's a gorgeous, big, chunky piece that you can just build and build. So thank you for your patience while I was allowed to show you that. Right, let's look at some of these frames. So the card shape itself, when you look at it, gives you the visual of a snow globe. Straight away, we're Christmas straight away, you've got that snow globe element. And then when we start to bring this in, look at that. Impactful already, right? Because it's got all the elements for building. And then we can add in decoupage. So remember I was saying they give you separate decoupage elements that Carnation do so well. And the one thing that I love about Carnation's decoupage is more often than not, the pieces that we get that are decoupage elements are still full elements. And that means I can use it elsewhere. It doesn't have to be part of something else. I can use it separately. So again, you would build on these so we can start to shape out. Now I'm not going to obviously demo fully, and I'm just going to place this with a little bit of shaping so you can kind of grasp it. Obviously that would be foam tape. It's going to fall forward because it's shaped. And then we've got these. Carol Hart, I used those last year, very well received. Yep, Carol Hart. Then we've got your extra element here. And all of your bits and pieces. I'm just checking because I think there's another element. Look at this. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Let's play, let's fill, let's build, and let's get those shadows working in our favour. Look at that decoupage. And that's without gluing, sticking, doing anything. You can just visually see it. That's an important element. So play with those things. I've got, here we go. Can I just show you these because they're so cute. Watch. We can just put them together and they can hug. She's a little bit smaller, or he, whichever way you look at it, you can put them either way. Cute beyond, just sweet. Love the design. You don't want them hugging? Absolutely fine. Pull them away from each other, give them their little presents, which will be amongst all of my stuff here somewhere. And so you get to play different ways of doing different things. But I'm going to leave those just on my desk here because you can never have enough Carnation mice. And then we have got your little party set, which I'll tuck here. Now, imagine that with tiny lights. So you've got that glow where they glow behind, okay? You've got the playway to it. You've got the elements for it. However, if I take the square frame and I add in the window, obviously you'd snip things down, and obviously you're going to have elements before. I can't show you the whole thing at the minute, but if I take my window and it's with an aperture and I put it above, okay, so you've got everything sitting there. Really, really pretty, right? That beautiful playway. And again, getting together. Getting together is so important because it's got the elements that we can use this window for. We can swap the two. These two work hand in hand. So good for Christmas, so good for Christmas. And we had the Santa's Grotto, didn't we, with getting together, so you've got that too. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you about in this collection, I believe they're in this collection. I don't know if I saw these on the boards, Miss Towers. Am I going the wrong way? Just in case I have or haven't. But those elements, they might be from around the tree, you know. But can I just show you them anyway? Look at those. I think they're from around the tree, which you're going to see in a minute. I'm pretty sure they're from around the tree. But aren't they sublime? That's what we're playing with, those elements. Let's look at this square frame. Let me find the extra piece to it. I love this. One. Build, shape, play. Push, place, building, building, building. You can have it any which way. You can play it the way you want to play. Isn't it just sublime? Building, 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 all of those things. Taking in a sentiment, you can place it, because remember these have their own mats, so you could place that. If you put it on a mat that was in white or a different colour, you could slightly bend it, glue down your edges and have that sitting proud, and then you'll get warm wishes shadowed onto the back of your card, because that's how it plays. So little ways of doing those things. Let's not forget Santa. He's probably a little bit too long line for this card, but still, let's bring him in. Isn't he gorgeous? He's so mischievous. Isn't he a stunner? Good morning, Izzy. How you doing, lovely? So we've got so many pieces to play with. One thing I do want to say, and I'll go to the oval to talk about this, is one of the most important elements, I think, or one of the most useful elements. I love that. Look at that. I'll never not love that card shape. It's extraordinary. And the layering that comes through here is just sublime. But we have actually, I've chosen probably the wrong card shape, but we have this piece. This village, why is it important? Well, if you create a shadow box and you use this, you've got that mountain scene at the back. So say like I apertured this out, I'll just move that there. If I was to aperture this with another piece on top and I low lay that, if you like, onto an oval shape, not necessarily this one, but onto an oval shape, and I started to use layers to box shadow it, I've then got the extra elements. Now I would cut these in a few times, and I would bring them forward so that perspective wise that village is sitting in the background, and you can build the most incredible scenes because we can start to add in glorious little border elements to create those scenes, those visual pleasing points. So we're making it into something that's very full and very lovely, just inspiring to work with. And the other thing that I want to just give, I'm not doing anything particular. Can I just look at this? I could get so, look at that, look at that, look at that. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And then gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so that's your elements. Now, let me show you some finished samples rather than me just blathering on about you, because the finished samples are this singing heroes of all of Carnation's cards. We know the strength of the DT team. Can they make things that you can't? No. Have I knocked half of what they did on the floor? Yes. I'll show you the others though. Look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Imagine putting those on a gift that you're giving to somebody. Crazy. Jacqueline, I see so many ways to use the new scissor mechanism. That scissor mechanism, I know we're not talking about that right now. That scissor mechanism is going to be, as far as I'm concerned, possibly across the whole of the crafting industry, the most useful die ever bought. I stand by it. Look at that. If that's not spectacular, I don't know what is. Say it again. That's got one vignette. Yes, it's got the sentiment, but it's got one vignette. The power of Carnation. That beautiful village scene. See how it works? We can chop into it, we can build it up. Little star, some of the free backing papers, and that gorgeous long line round your oval. Isn't it beautiful? There's so many ways. Let's go small. I said you can make Santa as a card. Make him as a card. He's so mischievous. Is it me or does he look a bit like Mark? Beautiful colours. Glorious colours. Those pops. Stunning pops. I'm going fast because we've got to get onto around the tree. Love them. Look at those little mice. Those mice are just glorious. Those mittens are a stunner. Right, prepare yourself. The windows, the people sitting behind the windows, which was, you know, I was very badly explaining. See that? Cutting in those apertures, building that scene. You know how when you're, I don't know if you've ever done it, but if you've gone out on Christmas Day, or Christmas Eve even, and you're walking along, see how when there's certain people who don't have nets on their windows and you can see in, and the glow of the Christmas tree is there, and you're cold outside, and it always looks so welcoming and so pleasing when you walk past them. And that's what that is. It's got that sense of, I want to walk in, I want to celebrate with these people, I want Christmas dinner with them. It's got that beautiful sense of home about it. The village work, that oval, I'll never get tired of the oval. It's significant. The chunk. And that's just your elements decoupaged up. Don't need to go any further. It's okay to let the card breathe itself. Your artwork will sing. Now this one I love so much. I love all of these, I'm not going to lie. But look at this on acetate. I don't know how well you can see the acetate, but look at that. So that's using that square frame. Your little mice handing out a present. Colour. Your backing papers are always, always there for you to help you. They're your handhold and they're free on the Carnation Crafts website. Yes, we pay for the perfect papers, but the backing papers are free. And so we can use them to hold our hand through our card making, which is super important. I'm just running through these. Decoupage, decoupage, decoupage. Get your chunk on. Look at them. Such a strong sentiment, that. It's such a strong sentiment. I'll be quick. There's only a couple more. Beautiful. Glorious, glorious, beautiful. Remember that decoupage element is separate, so we can use it in our own way. That's the one that I was saying about that's not in this collection, but I gave you the number for at the beginning. Look at the bow. It looks real. Finally, this little corker, which, if I can get my ridiculous hands to play the way I want them to, look at that. Isn't that stunning? Really beautiful, right? A million ways to play with Carnation. That's Glow of Christmas. Now, around the tree. I am going to confess, I can't find the card samples for around the tree. They're not where I keep my card samples, and Carnation don't have it at their end either. It's gone wayward. So what we're going to do is play it with the elements and show you it that way, and it'll just give you more of a visual. Miss Taz, I think I'm about to destroy the set, but I have got the boards, so I'm going through these, and Miss Taz will guide me as to whether I'm right or wrong. It's an incredible set. It's cute as a button. This was such a popular set. So because I don't have finished samples to show you, you're going to have to use your imagination, and we'll go through it. Let me make sure I've got everything where I need it. So around the tree is the most spectacular Christmas tree done in die form. Look at this. All of these cut lines are here for you to shape this, and we can work layer by layer by layer. You can see it, maybe not, maybe so on the whites. If I put my hand there you go, you can see all of those little cut lines that come through. Now what we've got on this is these incredible lights, stars, tinsels. You can decorate this any which way you like. This is your card base because it sits like this, and it sits forward and proud, and I'll show you that. Oh, there you go. There was those elements. They're just incredible. And I'm just showing you these as we're going through, and then we'll look at the actual dies. That's from the other one. We've got some muddling up here, Miss Taz. I love that so much. What a die set is that? Can you imagine? Just incredible, right? So let me get my boards straight. This one is, no, that's the wrong one, bag short. Where are we going? That's with this. Love it. Look at that. That was so incredibly popular, that die, and we can all see why. Really stunning. Hey Lorraine, how you doing? Even down to Santa's glass of milk, his mince pie, and the carrots for Rudolph. Remember, ready for Christmas, add these in, play, use, swap around. They're your frames that we were looking for. Was that in the last one, Miss Taz? Am I getting all muddled? Is that in this one or last one?
Last one's in this one.
Do you know, half a brain and I'd be dangerous. Look. Look at that. Carnation did characters so well. I've got to tell you, when you use a ball tool on his bottom, it fluffs right out. It looks really cute. He has this lovely dimension. So when you're using a ball tool on his bottom, use your ball tool, select a good size for it. So something along that line. So you're playing in, and just work his bottom around in a horseshoe shape. Follow Nick's shading in a horseshoe and let that puff right out. Don't do the whole thing as one. Puff out his bum, then puff out his face. You'll get the most distinctive, gorgeous shaping on him. He's stunning. But look, he's a little training reindeer, and he's got his little badge because he's in training. He's just so cute with that little gorgeous teardrop shape on his forehead, and then the gorgeous fox who's got those gorgeous eyes. Really, really stunning. Izzy says, can you tell me the size of the tree please, in inches? I can try in a minute. I will. I promise. All of your Christmas presents here is just gorgeous. You've got obviously certain things you can tell that's a golf club. So I like the tongue in cheek. You can tell that's a football, but then you've just got your normal presents, a bottle of wine, etc., etc. Really nice idea to put on tags if you are giving, for instance, a bottle of something at Christmas, to be able to put that onto a Christmas tag so it's got the hint of what's inside. Just cute, cute, cute. And then these, which are just, I'll never ever not love the elements that Nick creates for our background pieces. These are so important and they're so stunning. There's something incredibly vibrant and beautiful about them. Always, always your important ones. And I know they're not the showstoppers. I'll say it again and again. It's not the ones that impact us in an art sense. But when you have it on your finished card, it's the thing that gives us the extra visuals that make that card stand out from other cards. It's the layering technique. If you've ever painted or you've ever drawn, you know that we layer the medium that we're using. So watercolor, you might put 5 layers of color on as it dries. And it's the same with card making. That principle doesn't change. So we layer up the dyes that we're using and we layer in different ways. And so those background elements give us that layering. It looks incredible. I'll stop gibbering. Around the tree. Oh, Miss Taz can't find the opening to the bag. I love this. Around the tree is spectacular. And I won't take too long for you on this, but we're going to go through it. So, you've got a card base that looks like this. You've got your glorious spruce, which is sitting there somewhere in here. I just want to get this piece out. So your tree in inches is, well, for the whole thing, 11 inches there. But as it stands in height and you can fold, you would get it to 8 inches. It's a whacking great big thing. The tree itself obviously would be slightly smaller if you just want to use the vignette in a different way, which obviously, look at that. Isn't that stunning? That is 7.5. Okay, so it's a beautiful size. Now the way this works is that sits forward and your card sits upright. How do we get that to do? Well, we have an element here that's got score lines all the way around it, and you're just going to fold that and you're going to stick that at the back with red liner, and that is going to hold it straight up. So it's just super sweet, and that can be folded back for posting, and it can be folded forward if you wish for posting as well. There's mats and layers for all of this. It completely builds up and is visually very, very strong. But what we have got, I mean, just that. So pretty, right? So we've got these elements that we can bring in. We've got lights. We start to decorate the tree. Now I'm going to do it roughly because obviously I'm not sitting here and actually decorating the tree, but I will give you some ideas. We cut them down to the size that we want. We have got little stars that can hang on our tree. You can use these as a full sort of tinsel if you like, or you can cut the stars and hang them individually on your tree. You can do all kinds of different playways with them. We've got different colorways too, so you're not just stuck with the blues. You can play with your colors. We've got the reds. Look at how vivid that is against that green tree. And we just cut them to size. Really pretty. You've also got your extra tinsel lines as well. So you see how we start to decorate those. Then on top of that, because we always need a tree topper, you've got your beautiful star that sits at the top, really stunning. You have got all these different elements that allow you to play in the most glorious way. And look at that, that beautiful, isn't it beautiful? The detail. Can I just say as well, see how you see these lights? You're not going to get the best view, but see how that one particularly, this little teardrop shape. Look at the detail on it for a tiny piece. Just beautiful. Now, on top of all your tinsels, just taking those away, what we do have as well are your baubles. I love decorating Christmas trees. It's one of my big things. I really enjoy doing it. So doing this is a treat. and doing it without my children, trying to put Batman on my Christmas tree is an absolute joy. And of course I let them put Batman on my Christmas tree, but it never looks great. I'm just going to say it's not the best.
Do you do it where you let them, and then when they've gone away, you kind of reorganise?
No, my children are rabid. They're feral children. They know exactly what I've put, where they've put it, and they go looking for it, and they're like, Mum, Mum. I'm like, dudes, Batman is not for Christmas. Take away the star. Pop in an angel. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, Fiona, you absolute legend. Fiona has put that she's reshared her samples for Around the Tree on Carnation Craft for some ideas and reminders. I am so grateful to you, Fiona. Thank you. That is incredible. You are amazing. Jacqueline says, last year I cut 4 of the tree double-sided and then pieced them together for 3D effect with the little lights on. It looked beautiful. I bet it did. I bet it did. You guys are so awesome. Can I just take a moment to say how appreciative I am of you all. I think you're incredible. We've got different little size stars for the top. You can have the big one or the little one that sits there. But I love these as little elements on the tree as well. I think they look really sweet. Even down to little bow lines. Different coloured angels. We've got the little red and gold. I've got the gold in my hand here. So there's all of these different playways. Now that I've done that, obviously they're not stuck down, so they're going to all fall off. And that's fine because we're not actually demoing demo. I'm giving you a flavour. I'm just going to remove these because they're just going to fall anyway. And I'm going to have to just place that here so you can see what I'm talking about. You've got mats and layers for these. So let's bring in a little shade. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So you get to choose your colourways. So there's reds, there's golds, there's blues, there's all the little ways we play. Bring in a character and you can seat him against the tree. He looks super sweet. And then on here, you can start placing in your presents. And you can do them with a little stand behind them, or you can lay them flat. Either way, you can put various different things in different ways, just pretty as a picture. And we just build up. Now you can change those characters obviously as well. We could have a little glass of milk. We can change it out for some carrots. We can put the carrots down here. Little ways of playing all of the different elements. But one of the things that I want to show you while it's laid flat, one of the things that looks really beautiful on this is if you keep the tree fairly naked. We're not trying to offend the eye, so a few baubles maybe, but not too much. If you keep it very simple, very clean and very pared back, what we can do with this, let me just get rid of the presents, is we can impact the eye in a different way. Shape out your tree. It looks so stunning when you do that. There's a real joy in that. It's really pretty. That sentiment is probably, as far as I'm concerned, one of Carnation's strongest sentiments that they've ever done. There's something incredible with that dove line at the side of it. Really love it. Now, one of the other things, and this is where I start talking about the importance of those additions. Is that we can halo. Now, you don't get the impact until it's standing, but that looks incredible when it's standing up and you get this massive halo effect. And once you've then got on something like your star on the top of that and you've decorated that tree, you're really bringing this in and it looks just glorious. If I take that and replace it with the gold, ew. Placing this onto here, so you're haloing out. Place your tree on top, nice shaping. See, the thing about doing shows like this is I can't stop myself from shaping. And this was not the point. It was all like, you can just do this. You don't need to actually make demos. I find it hard not to demo. Look at that shaping on that tree. Can I just give a moment for the shadows? And I didn't even use a ball tool here. That's just rocking it. So if you're not somebody who wants to use a ball tool, you don't need to. But can I also say about the tree, sorry guys, I'm diverting, is if you take these, you see the cut lines coming through? Each segment, bring them forward, rock them. Sorry, Carnation, I know I'm not here for this. Just bring it through. Then fold, just gently. We're not actually folding. Can you see how these come forward now? These branches start to push. Look at that. See how we went from a flat 2D object to something that's so incredibly forward. I never touched it with a ball tool. Your hands are sometimes your best friend, because sometimes the warmth in your hands and the oils in your hand allow the paper to be manipulated. And so sometimes when we're working with a big surface area, the heat from your hands and the oil will just manipulate, and it makes the paper kind of supple in a different way. Ball tool, I will tell you, is always going to be the better option, but sometimes we don't have it on hand. So when you're manipulating with your fingers, the best hint I can give you, the tip I can give you, is before you start shaping it, take your thumb and your finger on both hands and rub them together. And if you do it with me now, as you're rubbing your hands and your two fingers together, your thumb and your finger, you'll start to feel the oil. You can just feel it. You can feel the heat between the two, and then the oil. And that is where you're getting the elements that you need for sculpting paper, that warmth and that oil. So do that, and then I can take some paper in my hand, because I've got that heat and I've got that oil, and I can start to heat the paper almost, and it becomes more supple, and it allows me to manipulate in a different way. So I hope that helps some people at home. Just get that oil moving in your hands, and that'll allow it to just bow out in a really nice way. I will say your ball tool is always going to be the better option, but that is an option for you, and it does help manipulate. Now, I'm going to say, Miss Taz, I know we're not supposed to be doing this, but can I just, there's a couple of other ones, and I really want to just give them a mention. I've only got the boards for them, but I want to give them a mention. They're on the Carnation Crafts website, and I've got the boards, and I just want to show you them. I don't know if you can grab me them, Miss Taz. I'm being a pain, and I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Thank you. So these aren't part of the Around the Tree collection. The Around the Tree collection is 210615, 89.99 today. It should be 127.94 if that's the combined price of everything. So you're getting a whacking discount. Please do remember, most importantly, to get your 10% discount from your newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, this is not us trying to get you to just subscribe for the sake of it. It's because they give you a discount. So please do subscribe to it. And the other thing is, while I'm here as well, please do go to YouTube and subscribe and hit the notification bell icon, and that will allow you to be notified whenever we go live with shows. We don't do anything else with it, and I never go live at 3 in the morning, so you're not going to get any weird notifications. So it'll just give you a little hint and a tip as to when we're on. So this is the hanging bauble card shape, and I wanted to show you this because it's a really important piece of engineering, and I know it's not the thing we are sort of doing today, but I am going to give you this because when you put this together, see how you've got your score lines here just sitting on that red. That folds over, so that's the front of the card, if you like, or the back of the card. This piece hangs. It's a bauble that hangs, and you can put whatever you like on it, and it's the most glorious little thing. It's a really beautiful element. So I'm going to give it a shout out because it deserves it, and because I love working with it. It's got the most glorious colorway and the most glorious mats and layers to it. It really is pretty when you bring in all the little elements to it. Super, super beautiful. And that is the hanging bauble card shape. Again, you can go to Carnation Crafts website and hit the inspiration tab thingy. I'm so professional, and you can go and find those. Miss Taz is giving me information here. The bauble, the number for the bauble on the Carnation Crafts website, if you've got a pen, jot down 210623. It's just really, really lovely. Then I've got your elongated, I think it's called your elongated winter, elongated Seasonal, elongated. Oh, look, I'm missing a thing. So elements, you've got mats, you've got layers, you've got your card base. The filigree on this is insanely beautiful. Use your cut tidy, it's going to save you a lot of time. Now, what I want to talk to you about this one is because one of the most important things about this card shape is your ovals here, because they create apertures. Yes, they create layers. We can see the dimension on that, but they create apertures. For you to create, how do I explain it? If you've got an elongated oval and you create, an elongated, rectangle, and you create some oval apertures within that, there is something happens. There's a real magic to that shaping, the rectangle with your oval. It's a really beautiful pairing, and it gives you this incredible, how to explain it, it's just this really, really strong visual depth. So use that in order to be able to create easy pieces where you can just cut in and you can create that. It's really, it's a really powerful way of creating. Sorry, I get diverted, but honestly, try it and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve with it. It's just beautiful. And then this, which I wanted to sing about, because never ever will I get sick of seeing this card shape. It is just beautiful. It's your Christmas wreath. Now, don't get that mixed up with the other name. Is this your Christmas wreath card shape and the other is the wreath maker? This is your Christmas wreath card shape. And I know we're not doing it as a mainstay today. It's not, it was just kind of, if I had time, I was going to show you it. I think this is one of Carnation's most unsung heroes. I think as a card shape, it's extraordinary. I think as a visual, it's beautiful. But I think if you cut the main card base twice and your mats and layers twice, don't worry about apertures, but you cut that twice. Can you imagine then this all sitting with the bow decoupaged, and that's sitting double-sided as a tent base on a Christmas dinner table? Because that's what it lends itself to. It's stunning. It's really beautiful. Do a box frame. Get an actual frame and put that in and bring it out every year for a Christmas decoration, because it's just gorgeous. We've been looking at so much, and it's a really beautiful thing to go back. So we have got the Christmas wreath maker. That's where we started, which is 210731. $44.99 today. It's a steal because you get so much with that. That's my top tip. I don't think I'm allowed to tell you that. Then you've got your Glow of Christmas 210601. That's £121.49, reduced from 117.94 if you were going to do it as a combined. Free UK P&P. Please use your 10% discount. 210615 for Around the Tree. That's stunning. That stunning tree. Sorry, Taz. That. I don't know how anyone cannot utilise that in the best way. Sorry, Taz. 210615, the Around the Tree collection, $89.99. It should be $127.94. I love it when we do these shows. Glow of Christmas, perfect papers, stunning colours on that one, stunning, $14.99. Don't just think of that as Christmas, because those colours go through a whole remit of summer colours as well. Then you've got your Around the Tree perfect papers, $14.99, $2.95 UK P&B if you buy them separately. Also useful for other Christmas collections that you've got too. And also I will say that colourway is beautiful for getting together as well. So nothing we do with Carnation is meant to be individual and unique. It's meant to be shared across all of your collections. I'll say it again, we don't have collections, we have editions. Carnation may not agree with my terminology, but I'm using it anyway. We have editions. One collection and editions, because you've seen how we cross-pollinate. And the more we cross-pollinate, the greater the scope we've got for creating insane things. And that gives you the privilege of being able to create things that are so unique that nobody else can make them. And I love that. Power to the artist, power to you. We're back at 1 o'clock, and we've got an amazing show at 1 o'clock. And It's got the baby Jesus and the nativity scene. And lots of people have been waiting for me to do a demo on that nativity scene. So I'll show you it again, and we actually will hopefully have time to actually kind of demo that, because if we slightly run over at 1 o'clock, it's not quite so imperative. So I'm going to show you the full demo of that. And what's the other one we've got, Miss Taz? Not Just for Christmas, which is a bit like Carnation, and the Family Christmas. All of the names. It's been great to have your company. I'm really hoping you'll join us again at 1 o'clock, when you'll get a full proper demo of Family Christmas, and then we will have a look at the Not Just for Christmas too. There's a lot of talking. Oh, and we've got the exploding Christmas tree blocks. I've got things for it. I'm going to make you an exploding Christmas tree box. We're going to do that as well. I will see you all at 1 o'clock. So have a nice lunch, and I'll see you soon. Take care till then. Big hugs. Bye.